What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. Now, I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Gonna read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you guys are doing today. Then, of course, we will be getting things started. Got all kinds of videos to cover today. This first one's titled, "A 13-year-old border crosser was arrested in New York City after he and a group of accomplices stabbed a pedestrian for refusing to take a picture." So that's the thing going on. Like I said, I figured we would see the news start to report on border crosser crime, and maybe the police will actually do something considering it's a 13-year-old. We'll see. Then we got video titled, "Steve Bannon's Thoughts on Kash Patel as FBI Director." The more I hear about Kash Patel, the more it sounds like he's the guy for the job. Then we got video titled, "More Humiliation for the View as Sunny Ho is forced to make a fourth groveling apology." She's like a legal liability at this point. Then we got video titled, "Jim Jordan and James Comer react to Joe pardoning Hunter." They did all that hooting hollering for years about how they were going to go after Joe Biden, and now it sounds like they're not going to do anything. They're asked by Sean Hannity directly, is this all over? Is this all that's going to come of all the crimes from the Biden family? And they just kind of give word salad in response, which really sucks because I like Jim Jordan, but apparently they're not going to do their job. Then we got video title, "Whoopi Goldberg doesn't think that Joe Biden lied to the American public." Let me see. I think we actually see some of this in that other video. We will see about covering that one. Then we got a whole bunch of South Korea stuff going on because earlier today, the president of South Korea declared emergency martial law and put the whole country in martial law. And we have all kinds of steps as that happened. When I found out about it, it was right when it happened. So we have each stage of it, but then their parliament voted for martial law to be lifted. It was 190 votes to 0 to lift martial law, but they're not going to. Not unless the president allows it, which he's the one that declared it. So it sounds like communism literally just took over South Korea today, and it doesn't seem like anyone's going to do anything about it. Then we'll be wrapping up the news with a video. It's kind of a humorous video. It's titled, "Trump laying into Trudeau during their dinner at Mar-a-Lago." Then we got a funny video of the day titled, "Trump's First Day Back in Office." And then we have kind of a feel-good / funny video of the day titled, "When You Raise Your Pets Right." All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is it? Is it Taco Tuesday today? Ah, it is. It's Taco Tuesday. Love Taco Tuesday. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Snooks? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Dan the Man? What's up, Russell? What's up, Annette? What's up, Amarain? What's up, Zero? What's up, 10 Man? What's up, Damsel? What's up, Tom Tom? What's up, Josh D? And what's up, Nefties? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Russell, you were first today. Now, I appreciate you racing to the chat and being omnipresent, Russell. What's up, Puff and Stuff? What's up, MU? What's up, Sawdog? Happy freedom. What's up, Life Flag? Appreciate you being here. Let me see. What's up, Zupia? What's up, Silver Wolf? What's up, General Chaos? What's up, Grom? What's up, Disco? What's up, Seppa? What's up, Spicy K? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Make sure I got everybody. What's up, Trump Girl? What's up, Addie Walker? What's up, Janet Steve? Make sure you hooligans hit that thumbs up button over on Rumble. See if you can get us on the front page. What's up, Break a Leg? Happy freedom. Appreciate you sliding through. What's up, Viola? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. What's up, Soul for Real? What's up, Mary Todd? Appreciate all of you hooligans being here. And what is up, everyone over on YouTube? What's up, Proud Patriot Girly? What's up, Brian Little? Happy freedom to you. What's up, James? Appreciate you hooligans being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up over on the commie platform. And what is up, everyone over on X? Now, for some reason, it's trying to tell me there's 200 people watching me on X. I fucking highly doubt that, but I appreciate the glitch nonetheless. Either way, we're going to get into things. Like I said, this first one here is titled, "A 13-year-old border crosser was arrested in New York City after he and a group of accomplices stabbed a pedestrian for refusing to take their picture." Now, this is a really short video, and they don't have any context in it, so I got to read the description to you guys, but we can watch this young lad get arrested here. Not that that's really a good thing. We'll play the video and then no, let's do it the other way around. We're going to read what happened and then we'll play the 22-second video. But before we do, I got to remind you guys that you definitely need to go get these t-shirts. This design was created by Alistair. Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will post his link in the chat for you guys to hire Alistair for your creative needs. If you think he can create it. This design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, and we even made cooking aprons in this design. I will post the links in the chats while we're watching this first video. Like I said, we're gonna read through it and then we're gonna play the video because that's the way this shit's set up. So it says a 13-year-old border crosser was arrested in New York City after he and a group of accomplices stabbed a pedestrian for refusing to take their picture. The last known address of the border crosser teen is the Roosevelt Hotel, which is a taxpayer-funded border crosser shelter. 3 other suspects are still on the loose. They're on the loose. Now we're gonna watch this little boy get arrested, and we'll move on. Alright, so that's a 13-year-old little border crosser being held accountable, or we'll see. He at least got arrested. We'll see how far accountability actually goes. With that being such a short video, we're going to hop right into another one here before we get it in the chat. This one's titled Steve Bannon's Thoughts on Kash Patel as the FBI Director. Like I said before, I don't know a whole lot about Kash Patel. I'm trying to figure it out as we go here. But everything I've heard about him says he's the man for the job. Let's get into this. But make sure you hit that thumbs up over on Rumble.
Of The Guardian, Hugo is one of the best reported. Did I hear Susie Wiles and J.D. Vance not on the Kash train? Did I hear that? Kash is getting confirmed. For those of us who have been in this struggle for years and years and years and years, Kash Patel's going to get confirmed. We need Kash Patel. Kash Patel's been here from the very beginning with Devin Nunes. Kash Patel knows over the FBI. He knows where the bodies are buried and how much dirt's on top of each one. Mike Davis, Hugo Lowe giving you a shout out there. They play a bunch of clips from War Room prior to that. But Semaphore is reporting, Ben Smith and the team over at Semaphore are reporting that Kash is getting actual real traction in the Senate. Mike Davis, you know the Senate better than anybody. You're a professional doing these confirmations. Talk to me about Kash Patel, the Senate, what they're going to look for, and what are the probabilities of this, sir?
I told President Trump we're going to confirm Kash Patel with Steve Bannon in the War Room, along with the Article 3 project, and that's what we're going to do. Kash Patel is highly qualified for FBI director. He's been a public defender. He's been a national security prosecutor. The Obama Justice Department gave Kash Patel one of its awards because he's such a good national security prosecutor. He works for Nunes on House Intel in a senior post, National Security Council in the White House, Director of National Intelligence Office in a senior post, Chief of Staff at the Pentagon. He's clearly qualified to serve as President Trump's FBI director. So,
like I said, still learning about Kash Patel, but everything I hear is good stuff. Seems like he is fit for the job. So excited for President Trump to get into office. It's really hard to find news right now because everybody's just speculating or talking about what will happen or won't happen when President Trump gets in. But until then, everybody's just kind of standing around. Luckily, we actually got news today, but it has been hard for these last couple weeks. I can't wait till President Trump's in office and things start picking back up. Next up, we have more humiliation for The View as Sunny Ho is forced to make a 4th groveling apology. Like I said, she's a legal liability. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about that border crosser, that 13-year-old that was stabbing somebody for not taking a picture of him and his buddies, as well as Steve Bannon's thoughts on Kash Patel. Moraine, it's really exciting to see how President Trump just go this cleanup ball rolling. Oh, yeah. It's exciting to see things get, the ducks get in a row and whatnot, but I want stuff to happen. The damn speculation is driving me crazy. I don't want to cover a bunch of videos of people speculating what's going to happen. I want to see things getting done. What's up, Cassie J? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Annette? I am sorry to hear about your loss, Annette. Russell, Cash is going to uncover so much corruption on these people. I hope so. I'm ready to see things change around here. What's up, 10 Man? Happy freedom to you. Russell, Kash Patel is a badass. I'm waiting to see it. It seems that way. Guess I knew Cash when he was just change. Yes, guess Yes. Amarane, where's the darn parents? 10 Man, back in Central America. Yeah, probably. Russell, lock him up and deport him. Where do you deport a 13-year-old? I wonder where he's from. It's messed up. Even the kids are committing crime here. Well, that's a pretty good example, because you know how there's Democrats that are all pissing and moaning right now saying, oh, President Trump wants to send back the parents and the kids. Well, yeah, look what the kids are doing. The kids are fucking stabbing people. Send the whole family back. Just do the whole thing. We don't want to separate kids from their parents. Send the whole family back. Happy freedom to you, guess Brussels saw where an illegal Chinese border crosser caught smuggling weapons from the U.S. to North Korea. Crazy. I didn't even see that. That is crazy. Oh, thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. I forgot I just cut my hair. Yes. It's not the best time to do it, though. It's freezing cold outside, and we got like 12 inches of snow. What's up, Alistair? Happy freedom to you. Well, Elon wants to buy Hasbro, and I don't know what that word is, in lieu of the Wizards of the Coast BS, and Lucas is rumored to want to buy back Star Wars, so there's that. That's crazy, Alistair. I haven't heard anything about any of that. And what's going on with the Wizards of the Coast? Isn't that who makes, like, Magic cards and Pokemon cards and all that? And Cash is the one who wrote the book 2,000 Mules, and it was made into a movie. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was connected to the 2,000 Mules. What's up, Hair Juicer? Happy freedom. I don't know what that says, Hair Juicer. I have no idea. Break a leg, no one will get in trouble? Nah, we'll see. It's been that way for a long time. I'm really hoping things change and some real accountability shows up. Get this chat fixed really quick. There we go. Zupia, that kid's probably out already. New York is literally like Gotham City. I don't even know why they have a police force. Yeah, Zupia, but things are changing because they know that President Trump is coming in. So it seems like people are doing more of what they're supposed to do than they have in the last 4 years. But we'll see. I mean, what can you do with a 13-year-old? What are they going to do? Stick him in foster care? It's not like they could send him to jail. He's, 13. Probably doesn't even speak English. What's up, Barb? Happy freedom. You like Kash Patel? Seems like a good guy so far. What's up, Courtly? Happy freedom. What's up, D-Cat? Happy freedom to you. Courtly, that's why I carry a gun everywhere I go. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, Courtly. Like I said before, I don't even take the trash out without being armed. What's up, Puff and Stuff? Happy freedom to you. What's up, 5D? Appreciate you being here. Tracy, and Trump was talking about doing a martial law. We can't let him or anyone do this to us because they won't lift it, and then there'll be more restrictions on us. I haven't heard President Trump say anything about doing martial law. He was talking about putting the country in a state of emergency for the border crossers. But that's not the same thing as going into martial law. Like, not at all. A state of emergency is like what we went through because of the lockdowns. And where they were able to use mandates like mask mandates and vaccine mandates and stuff. That's why they were able to do that, is because we were in a state of emergency. But there wasn't tanks in the streets. There wasn't officers behaving as, or soldiers behaving as police officers. People were allowed to go to work and stuff like that. The news and the newspapers and independent media wasn't controlled by the government. Mainstream news is kind of controlled by the government, but martial law in a state of emergency is not the same thing, Tracy. What's up, Seppa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Pipelines Drifter? Appreciate you being here. Libby Racer, Coffee with Hooligans 555. Yeah, I don't know what the 555 stuff is. That's just where we landed today. But I was wondering if people were going to say something about it. 111 episodes from now, everyone will wonder why it says Coffee with Hooligans 666. Maybe I'll skip it. Maybe I'll skip 666 so we don't have to fight about it. What's up, Libby Racer? Happy freedom to you. Holy Viola. Viola. President Yoon says he will lift martial law order of South Korea. Has said, what is it, just same thing over and over again? Well, thank you for letting me know, Viola. We'll see if he actually lifts it, though. What's up, Stern? Happy freedom to you. What is going on here? I wish Twitch did better about their notifications. I can't ever tell what's going on over here. I don't know. Whatever's whatever, I suppose. Star, no traveling today. I don't know what that word is. You went to Anchorage? Is that what that is? I know it's not worth traveling today here in Michigan. We got slammed with snow last night. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy freedom. What's up, Teasel? What's up, Blue Crow? Happy freedom. What's up, Lenny? Lenny, I just learned that the Roosevelt Hotel in New York is owned by Pakistan. Yep. Yes, it is. And we are paying Pakistan for that hotel that's in New York. Glad to hear, Brian. Here, Juicer, look at you in the comment section over on X. What's up, Donnie Brooklyn? Happy freedom to you. All right, we're going to get onto this next video here. Like I said, more humiliation for The View as Sunny Ho is forced to make her fourth groveling apology. It's coming up next, but first I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let me get this pulled up really quick. I believe this is done by Rita. I can't really remember. I'm pretty sure it's Sky News, though. Either way, talking about The View and how Sunny Ho sucks ass having to give her fourth apology because she's always talking that shit that she ain't got no business talking. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
The View has been dealt another humiliating blow as Sunny Hostin was forced to make yet another apology live on air, this time to Pete Hegseth.
I see you. I see you over there.
I have a very quick statement.
Yes, it's not going to be that quick.
Pete Hegseth has denied any wrongdoing. His lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. No charges were ever brought.
You rushed me for that? We'll be right back.
This is the fourth apology Sunny Hostin has been forced to read in the space of 2 weeks after she made unsubstantiated claims against Matt Gaetz and now Pete Hegseth.
Legal note. I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
Yeah.
Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward.
The mounting apologies are humiliating for Hostin, with commentators saying her days may be numbered. This commentator said Sunny Hostin had to read another legal note to cover for their false claims against Pete Hegseth. At what point does ABC realize The View is a major liability and either fire the lunatic hosts or cancel the show? This commentator agreed, saying Sunny Hostin forced to read yet another legal note. The View is an absolute legal nightmare for the network. How long will they put up with it? And broadcaster Piers Morgan doubled down, saying the show should be cancelled in a scathing column in the New York Post. He said, The View has become a pointless, irrelevant parody of itself that urgently needs to be put out of its and our misery. And it's not only Sunny Hostin that's causing headaches for the show. Whoopi Goldberg has been slammed today for defending Joe Biden's lies after announcing he plans to pardon his son Hunter.
Because I respect it as a parent. I understand why he would do it, but I wonder to understand why lie about it for so long.
I would stop calling it a lie.
Okay, why repeatedly say you're not going to and you do? And secondarily, for the part of this country, half of it that doesn't support Biden, doesn't know him personally, doesn't get to have phone calls, and they're just looking at a system that seems like it only benefits the people who are in power.
I'm going to say,
what precedent does that set?
Well, here's what it says. It's a precedent for all of us to open our eyes because we've elected someone who is in a similar situation, who didn't have a drug problem, who knew what he was doing, who clearly stood and said, I can do this. And he did it. So I think, for many, many reasons, this is very different than any other situation that we have ever dealt with.
Sunny Hostin also weighed in on the debate, saying Hunter Biden was unfairly targeted.
The only reason that Hunter Biden was gone after and charged, indicted, and found guilty was because his name wasn't Joe Smith, it was Hunter Biden. And that's the truth of it. You've got Eric Holder saying it, you've got former prosecutors like myself saying it. So,
why did he admit it?
Wait.
I think one of the reasons why he didn't admit it earlier was because he didn't know that the felon-in-chief would become the next president.
A commentator blasted Hostin's response to the news, saying, try to follow these mental gymnastics by Sunny Hostin. Joe Biden lied about not pardoning Hunter for years because Trump was going to be president.
Well, it's not looking good for The View, but those people are so toxic and hateful that they'll just go down in a burst of flames. They're not gonna tell Sunny Ho to shut her stupid mouth. They're not gonna pick up around there. They're just gonna run that show straight into the ground. It's not like they'll ever admit any wrongdoing. You see the way they are when they have to regurgitate like a sorry. You know, that first one was hard, but now they're on their fourth one. Just having to be like, oh, sort of sorry, kind of, sort of. Should have never said that stuff when I was lying my ass off, but anyways. And then they go right back into more lying. Like I said, they're going to run that show right into the ground. Next up, we got Jim Jordan and James Comer react to Joe pardoning Hunter, and it really just sounds like everyone's going to wait around to see what Trump's going to do. It doesn't sound like they're going to do anything about it, that they just was talking a whole bunch for 4 years, and now they're not going to do anything. They're just going to let Joe Biden get away with it. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Sunny Ho. Rain, I really miss Ghost and Sister Act Whoopi. She used to be a great comedian. Yeah, Rain, I don't know what to think because I used to like Whoopi Goldberg when I was young, and I can't tell if that's because she was a better person or because I was ignorant. I can't tell because there's so many celebrities that I used to like, and now I can't stand any of them because I just look at them all like they're pedophiles and stuff. And so it's like I don't know if it's because I'm more aware of my surroundings now or if these people are just worse than they used to be. It's hard to say. Zero, Sunny Ho, is she a happy prostitute? Yeah. On the outside, on the inside, she's a miserable fuck, but, you know, that's all right. Tin Man, she sold her soul. What do you expect? Yeah. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Happy Taco Tuesday. Josh D, can't trust actors just for that reason. They are acting. Absolutely, Josh D. I think actors have personality disorder. And people are just taking advantage of it. That's what I really think it is. They don't have an actual identity. They don't have a real person. They're just hopping from personality to personality. They can play the part when they need to. You can't trust actors. Guess Hunter's lucky his last name isn't Trump. He'd really be targeted. Yeah, I guess I love how they're spinning this. And they're saying, oh, yeah, well, Hunter Biden's only being attacked because he's a Biden. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't even be going after him. Like, what do you mean he's practically a super criminal? he's like just a step below terrorist. Like, I don't know. He is a piece of shit. And man, these bitches are ruined. Yeah, you can't fix them. I know that. Can't fix them. So now ex-president of South Korea did not lift martial law. Yeah, I figured he wasn't going to turn around and lift it. They've only been in martial law for a couple hours. Russell, all they do is spout lies. I'm glad their lawyers are immediately walking that crap back. Yeah, Russell. It's crazy that they have a show, they say a bunch of shit, and then the next day they got to give a whole bunch of sorries. Oh, they're real sorry about yesterday's episode while they were lying. Alistair, Wizards of the Coast released stuff trashing veteran players. Elon is a vet player. I guess he's taking it personally. Poke the bear. Yeah, Alistair. Well, maybe it'll straighten him out. Because that's what kind of sucks about what they're doing to all that stuff is they're trying to stay what they believe is relevant. So you're seeing like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering start to have like pronouns and woke dumb shit in it. Nobody wants that. Nobody, like, when you go to entertainment, it's to bring you out of the real world. And somewhere along the way, these people in all these entertainment fields, movies, series, music, everything, the entertainment industry has gotten in the habit of inserting politics and inserting real life. And now you can't be entertained because you're so busy just worrying about regular life. It's not even entertainment anymore. Sucks. It sucks. Josh D, you going to get a press pass? So a press pass is a funny thing. In certain places, a press pass is something you need to obtain. In other places, a press pass is something you need to create. It depends what you're going to do. Like, if I wanted to, I could print a little piece of paper claiming I'm press with my name on it, slap it on my chest, and that's a press pass. But if I try to get into the press room in DC, that's not going to fly. I need to apply for a press pass. But if there was a protest going on outside, my little printed receipt, that's good enough to be a press pass. It's a really weird thing. It's like not that prestigious of a credential. Like, not at all. Press pass is, I really don't even know what to compare it to. It's about as worthy as a job title. It doesn't really matter, but it kind of matters in certain situations. But most of the time, it doesn't actually matter, especially if that job position isn't, that important. So a press pass is flimsy. It's flimsy. I'd like to see if we could get into the White House press room at least one time. But other than that, I haven't been worried about press passes. Be safe out there, Russell. Here, Juicer, the only Whoopi movie that I like is Rat Race. I have not seen that movie in a long time. That movie was a big deal when it first came out. Alistair started running D&D games online. Make it clear to players, I am not going to respect their pronouns. And if you don't like it, play with somebody else. That's right, Alistair. For real. What's up, Mr. B New? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Hidu? Happy freedom. Hidu, the Bidens would be unknown trailer trash if Joe had not entered politics. You are right. MC, absolute witches are on The View. Yeah, and I don't know how people can watch it. I figure it's got to be cynical people that have a lot of hate in their heart. And so they watch the show and those wicked women are cackling and laughing over the demise of children and random things, bad stuff going on that they're celebrating. And that cynical people are watching it that have that hate in their heart and they're celebrating with them. They're like, yeah, our own downfall. Woo, we love that. Like, otherwise, I don't know how people could even stand to watch The View. It's just a big, miserable mess. Libby Racer, Whoopi took the blue pill. Yeah, seems that way. Pumpkin, I predict that The View may not be around much longer. Not with the way their ratings are going and the apologies that they keep having to do. Pumpkin, Biden is a pathological liar. I don't know if he's like conscious enough to be a pathological liar. I think he just does whatever he wants because there's no consequences. Just like Hunter Biden. What's up, Muskie Boss? Happy Freedom. What's up, Barb? They need to just cancel that garbage. Yeah, Barb, they do. Josh 1776, happy freedom to you. Biden's giving Africa $1 billion. I wonder what company Hunter got a job at. Yeah, Josh 1776. Like, what are they gonna do with $1 billion? That country's ran like shit. What's up, AR16? Happy freedom to you. Break a leg. I wonder who Biden blew to get his job. Which Biden? What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom to you. What is going on Kick? What's up, Jay Muzo? Happy freedom to you. What's the one movie Whoopi did with the dinosaur man? I don't know, Jay Muzo. So maybe Hooligans will know in the chat. I'm not good at you guys know me. I ain't seen hardly any damn movies, but maybe somebody will know in a little bit. Jay Muzu. Jay Muzu, Amazon delivers by drones now. Yeah, I've been seeing that they're, I don't know where it's happening. It's not nationwide, but they are trying to create their own delivery service. I wonder if they'll be better than FedEx, because I fucking hate FedEx. They are the worst. I'd rather have like meth heads from Portland delivering my shit than FedEx. Yeah, Jay Muzo, I'm trying to think. I bet there's some hooligans in the chat that know what you're talking about. What's up, Justin P? Happy freedom to you. Justin P, the only movie I remember Whoopi was in The Ghost. See, and I don't even remember her in The Ghost. I remember her in Sister Act, but that's really all I can remember right off the top of my head. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy freedom. Free Jordan Neely. You can't free Jordan Neely. He's in hell. Fuck, there's no way out of hell. What's up, Shanti? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mr. Coffee? Happy freedom to you. How you gonna free Jordan Neely? He's looking up at us right now. That's terrible. Guess I'm joining everyone over on X. Don't want you to feel lonely. You're such a good hooligan. Get some. Trying to see if you hooligans know what movie Jay Muzu is talking about. Lifelike, who says the meth heads from Portland aren't working for FedEx? That might be the case, Lifelike. Maybe that's my problem. Holy he do. I'm not reading that out loud. That's too much. That's too much. We're going to get into this next video here. Like I said, it sounds like everybody's going to sit on their hands when it comes to the Bidens. It's titled Jim Jordan and James Comer react to Joe pardoning Hunter. Now, this is a Sean Hannity clip here. And Sean Hannity's asking these yahoos, like, is it over? Is the fight over? You guys just aren't going to do anything about all this Biden stuff? Not even just Hunter, but both Bidens. You claim for years that you're going to hold these people accountable. Now they're getting pardons. What's going to happen? Word salads from both of them. Super disappointed. Hit the thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
Here with reaction, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Is this over, Jim Jordan?
Well, we're going to look at David Weiss. Remember, the Congress has a strong history of looking at special counsels, getting a report from them, bringing them in for a hearing or deposition or maybe both. So we're going to look at all that. But I love what you said in your monologue, Sean. The Biden presidency started with a lie and it ended with a lie. And as you pointed out, there were all kinds of false things in between. But remember, October 2020, Joe Biden said in that debate, the Hunter Biden laptop story, according to 51 former intel officials, is a Russian information operation. That was a lie, and he knew it at the time. And then, of course, yesterday, after saying he wouldn't pardon his son, he turns around and does the very thing. Lie at the start, lie at the ending, and a terrible 4 years in between. Thank goodness President Trump is going back to the White House.
James Comer, let me ask you, in your mind, is this over? Is this over for Joe Biden? Is it over for his brother? Is it over for other family members that were paid monies here? Or does this continue? Does Joe Biden need to think about pardoning these family members and maybe himself?
Well, remember, the House Oversight Committee referred Jim Biden as well as Hunter Biden to the Department of Justice for perjury. We deposed Hunter Biden, and he lied under oath, and we brought Jim Biden in for a transcribed interview, and he lied under oath. That's a fact. That's in a report that Jim Jordan and I signed and published to the American people. So I would fully expect Joe Biden to pardon Jim Biden. And remember, in our investigation, we found that 10 family members, including Joe Biden, profited from the influence peddling schemes where they were shaking down our adversaries around the world for tens of millions of dollars, and then they created all these shell companies and laundered the money through the shell companies. And this is according to 6 banks. 6 banks said this in the suspicious activity reports that were filed with Treasury, that they were laundering money, and they sent the money in incremental payments to 10 different Biden family members. So I think that the new Trump Justice Department is going to have a lot on its platter. I look forward to consulting with them to see if we can be of any further assistance. But right now, I think the ball will be in Attorney General Bondi's court.
So let me be clear, James Comer. Do you believe other Biden family members committed crimes? And do you believe that a new Attorney General, if they are upholding the law, it would be within their jurisdiction to go forward with indictments? And what about Joe Biden himself?
I believe 2 other Biden family members definitely and knowingly committed crimes. In addition to Hunter Biden, you have Jim Biden and Joe Biden. Joe Biden obstructed my and Chairman Jordan's investigations. He lied multiple times. He lied about his knowledge and involvement. We had sworn testimony from Bob Alinsky and Devin Archer that said that Joe Biden knew all along what was going on. He was selling the brand, his brand. He was selling access to our enemies around the world, and he lied just like Jim Jordan said in the debate about the laptop, and he lied when he said he wasn't going to pardon his son. So, yes, Joe Biden, in my opinion, has committed crimes. Jim Biden, we saw he took in all these loans. He didn't pay any interest, didn't pay any principal, had no loan documentation. At what point do those loans become income they never paid taxes on? And by the way, why did he get those loans? What was he doing? All the people that wired money to the Bidens were shady characters, either adversaries or people that were in trouble, needing assistance, needing a prosecutor fired, needing a pardon. They were needing something from Joe Biden, the big guy.
Same question, Jim Jordan. And do you believe that Joe Biden should think about pardoning the people that James Comer just mentioned and maybe himself?
Well, Sean, I assume he's already looking to do that particularly for his brother. As Jamie pointed out, when we deposed him, he said things that just didn't square with what the evidence that we had and the facts that we had gathered. So we'll see. I do think it's interesting. You pointed this out, the time, the broadness, the length of this from January 1st, 2014 to December 1st, 2024, 10 years and 11 months. Remember, 3 of that of 11-year time frame, 3 of those years was when Joe Biden was vice president. So he's making sure, even though the statute of limitations has run for any involvement Hunter Biden had with Burisma and taxes he owed for that unbelievable amount of income he got from that energy company in Ukraine. So I think that is something that I think is just huge. Because remember, with Burisma, Hunter Biden got put on the board. He wasn't qualified to be on the board. He told us that himself in an interview. The heads of Burisma asked him to weigh in with his father to relieve the pressure they are under from the prosecutor in Ukraine. And then fourth, Joe Biden goes and does just that. And he uses our tax money, American tax dollars, to say, if you want the loan guarantee money, stop going after Burisma. My son's on the board and getting paid tons of money. And that happened. That's what we were looking at. And Democrats said, oh, there's nothing there. But somehow Joe Biden has to pardon for all that time frame. I think that's suspicious in and of itself.
So like I said, a whole bunch of nothing. So is it all over? You guys said you were going to go after Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and you were going to hold them accountable, and now there's pardons. So is it over? And then they talk for minutes and minutes. Just say, yeah, it's over. Because that's what it all amounts to. I really hate how these people get on TV and they say all the right things, and especially when they talk bad about Hyena Harris. They're going to talk bad about Hyena Harris delivering word salad, and then we just sat through 5 minutes of that. What is that? Sound like word salad to me. I mean, shit. I hate that because I like Jim Jordan. I don't know much about Comer. He seems like a stooge to me, but Jim Jordan, he seems like a good guy, and he always says the right things, but what the hell? And I kind of feel the same way about Josh Hawley. It's like they always say the right things. It sounds really good, and then the people they're going after just walks right out the door. They just do whatever they're going to do. Continue on with their evil deeds, and nobody does anything about it. So it sounds like Joe and Hunter, they're just going to ride off into the sunset. And that's that. After we heard 4 years that they were going to be held accountable. I don't know. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. Next up, we're going to be talking about South Korea. I got 11 videos. No, I got more than that. Jesus loves us. I got like 13 videos that we're going to watch. They're all very short. We'll be hitting them all back to back, I think. But South Korea, like I said earlier, they went into emergency martial law. This happened a few hours ago, and it's probably like 5 hours ago is when it started. And everything happened very quickly. They made an announcement that there was going to be emergency martial law. Helicopters showed up. Military showed up. They started to seize parliament. There was blowback. They had to enter in through the windows in order to get into parliament. And then parliament voted against martial law to have martial law lifted. And instead of it being lifted, they're all waiting for their current president, which apparently has a very low approval rating. They're waiting for him to lift martial law, and he's not going to because he's the one that instated it 5 hours ago. Now, there is an opposing president, somebody who's, running for president or whatever over there, that it seems like what they're trying to do is that people like the new guy, and before he can get in, the current administration is bringing out martial law to control everything. They've seized the newspapers, they've seized their media outlets and all of that, and it's currently under government control. It sounds like communism literally just took over South Korea 5 hours ago. And, we're live right now, so I don't know what's happening right this second, but from what it sounds like from you hooligans that are checking on this story currently, they're still under martial law. So it's kind of a scary thing that's going on with South Korea because they could do that to us. They could instate martial law and try to act like President Trump can't come into office. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't want you guys to be worried about that. We're not fear-mongering and selling fear around here. But that's how I look at this, is that's all it would take, is for Biden to get on TV and say, oh, we're going to have martial law, and boom, we'd be looking like this. And that's a scary thought. Now, again, I don't think that's going to happen, but that's why we're going to cover this, because in a matter of 5 hours, South Korea was handed over to communism. And that's a scary thing. Now, those people obviously don't have guns, so it's not exactly how things would go around here if Joe Biden put a message like that on TV. But still a scary thing for South Koreans. And we're going to get into that next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Jim Jordan and James Comer over here selling word salads when it comes to Joe Biden's pardoning that he did for Hunter Biden. And they'll never do anything. It's a big uniparty, and we are not their concern. Next term, these cockroaches need to be voted out. Absolutely. And we need people that are going to do things on Capitol Hill. There's always all this damn talk. They don't ever do anything. Snooks, I want term limits. Yeah, we do need term limits. Absolutely. Sage Pup, this is crazy but possible that it could happen here. Yeah, Sage Pup, it could happen here. I don't think it will. I don't think they want... you look at how they were talking about J6. J6 will look like a quinceañera compared to if they enacted martial law because they didn't want President Trump to take over. Like, that would be a big deal. Americans would not stand for that. I think that the majority of Americans would continue to be soft and stupid as they are, but I think the small portion of Americans that would... there would be resistance. There would be resistance to martial law. Now, again, I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I don't encourage anybody to break the law. But just knowing how Americans are, if they try to stand in the way of President Trump coming into office, people would be upset. And it may not be the majority of Americans, but there'd be enough Americans being upset. And that's what makes me think that they're not going to try and pull that shit. They could have did it during the lockdowns, and they didn't. And that would have been the spot to do it because they broke us during the lockdowns. Look at the way people are now. They're all fucked up. And it's because we went through a long period of time where like 2012 was going to happen, right? Remember back in 2012, everybody thought the world was going to end because of the Mayan calendar and all that shit. And you tell old people, oh, did you hear the world's going to end? And old people would say, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. You know how many times I've lived through the end of the world? That'll never happen, right? Everybody felt that way. Anytime something big happened on the news, anytime Alex Jones was screaming from the rooftops, you'd hear old people say, that'll never happen. And we all believed it until 2020 happened, till the lockdowns happened, when they were like, yeah, we understand that you know how germs work. We're going to act like germs work differently now. You need to stand 6 feet apart. You need to wear compliance cloths. You need to wear a fucking mask shield like germs can't get around the plastic. We're going to talk through plexiglass when we're at services like gas stations and places like that. We're going to pretend like we don't know how germs work all of a sudden. And they broke us with that shit. Because we're like, we're going to lockdowns. Old people were like, that'll never happen. Then we went into lockdowns. They were like, we're closing the restaurants. Old people were like, that'll never happen. And they closed the restaurants. Then they locked those old people in the old folks' home and let them die in front of us. That broke us. Now we don't have this belief of, that'll never happen. We don't have that anymore. They took that away from us. They took our security away, and they broke us. Then they started telling us that dudes can play in girls' sports, and if they put a dress on, we got to call them the next toaster unicorn and all this other stupid shit. They broke us with that stuff. And I think if we were going to go through martial law, it went then. I think if they do it now, there's too much blowback. Everybody's really rebellious right now, which is why woke isn't working anymore. People are standing against it because they're tired of the bullshit. They're tired of following a guideline that doesn't make sense. And so I think if they were to try to bring martial law right now, people would flip the fuck out. People would burn their own house down out of anger, let alone burn your house down, right? So I don't think they could do the martial law thing right now without severe blowback. But if they did it back in 2020, they might have fucked us with it. But thankfully, they didn't do that to us. Maybe next time. Either way, reading through. What's up, Chrissy Star? Happy freedom to you. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry to hear that, Chrissy Star. Holy. My condolences. Yeah, Cassie J, the Y2K scare. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, Y2K. But they took our security away. Now we're inclined to believe them. You know, when they sell that fear to us, we're more inclined to believe them now because they broke us. What's up, Turbo? Happy freedom. Guess some term limits for marriage. Oh my God. Guess some. That's a life sentence, buddy. That is a life sentence. Here, Juicer, I wish I was an adult at that time. It'd be so funny to flip the power breaker at the end of the countdown. Yeah, here, Juicer. I think I was 11 years old when Y2K happened. I didn't even understand. Everybody was all worried. I was just happy I was allowed to stay up all night. I was just thankful for that. I was like, well, if we all die, at least I got to stay up till midnight on New Year's. AR-16, they broke my trust for sure. Absolutely, AR-16. Well, and that's what really brought us all together. We couldn't trust anything around us anymore, we had to learn to trust each other. And once we established that, then we're strong. We're strong with numbers. And sometimes people show up and they try to cut me down with that shit. They're like, oh, when I first came here, your numbers were big and now they're not that big. Well, yeah, we were locked inside of our fucking house. We didn't have anything better to do than sit here and watch the live. Like, I understand why the numbers are the way they are. You can't cut me down for that shit because we're still rolling. We are still together. We are still strong and united over here. But during the lockdowns, they were breaking people and they were living alone in their houses, feeling isolated and scared to speak out because political correctness had come cancel their ass, have you banned from social media, and that's all you had to be social back then. So we survived that bullshit. Now it's too late to put us through lockdowns. Era 16 Jaguar. Yeah, I see they put out a new commercial. Their new Jaguar vehicle. It looks all futuristic. It looks like the car is from iRobot. Yeah. I thought about putting that on the list. Maybe I'll look for it here in a second. What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom to you. Tony Rez, maybe Joe called South Korea and asked for a distraction. It could be. Because people are wondering what was that about? Why now? Why did it happen right now? A lot of people say it's a coup going on. And there's a lot of confusion because Parliament voted to end the martial law, but the president over there, he's not lifting it. And so there was a big confusing moment that happened because we have videos of this that we're going to show in a second, but you can see the soldiers walking away after Parliament voted. So it seemed like martial law was over. So people started celebrating it as if it was the end of their 5-hour period of martial law, but the president didn't lift it. So they're still in martial law. And so those people that were celebrating, they're kind of in this fog right now where they have to come to terms with the fact that it's not over yet. And so there's like this confusing period happening over there. And now their media is controlled by the government. So the best we got is people posting videos on X. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom. SOS, Congress in collusion needs to go to prison for bankrolling criminal conspiracy. Yeah, SOS, those people on Capitol Hill, they need to be held accountable and they need to be kicked out because they're not doing right by us. Not at all. What's up, Jamie? Happy freedom to you. Normal times, when is P. Diddy getting his pardon? I don't want to see that. I hope that don't happen, but seeing the way old man Walter is running things. You hooligans crack me up. Bobby dropping the boobies in the chat. Very nice. Crimson, I think it's just because people think you're a Fed. I don't think anybody thinks I'm a Fed. I don't think there's really a single person that thinks I'm a Fed. I just don't see that. Oh, you're soft. I see why you're saying that, because you're soft. You can't get boosters from me, bud. You got to go somewhere else asking for that shit. Come on, man. No kid fuckers allowed in the chat. Bam. You're gone. See you later, Crimson. What's up, Chesh? Happy freedom to you. I've never been called a Fed before, especially by a kid fucker. God. That's a new badge of honor, I'll tell you what. What's up, Boat Patrol? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Christopher? Happy freedom to you. Is Joe going to hand out pardons for illegals? I hope not. They're working on mass amnesty, but I don't think they can figure out a way to legally do it. Not that they're that worried about the law, but I just don't think they have a real path to victory with that. Otherwise, they would have already did it. What's up, Cheeseburger? Happy freedom. Wayward. Working outside for 7 hours and 20 degrees. Got my What is that? My mental today? Well, yeah, that's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. 20 degrees is frigid. Guess Jeff is a Fed. He's fed up. Yeah, for real. Sam, are you making the list? I think I'm the title on the list. Turbo Fed Mac Live. Yeah. I didn't know. I don't make a lot for being a Fed. You know, like, fuck. You ain't never seen a Fed living in subsidized housing? It'd be all right. Stupid. Klaus Daniels is my handler. That's what's really going on around here. What's up, Rip Curl? Happy freedom to you. Tony Rez, Jeff's not a Fed, but Klaus, he's suspect. Yeah. Bobby Klaus is CIA. Yeah, he's intelligence. He's intelligence around here. Pumpkin. Klaus is a cat. He wouldn't be a Fed. Cats don't do that. Till they take over the government. Because the government was letting those Haitians eat those fuckers. They're taking over. I heard the cats were pulling a coup. They were getting ready to turn up an insurrection. Anyways, moving forward here. Let me see where we are. Oh, yes, we're going to get into Korea going through martial law. Like I said, we got a ton of videos on this. So give me a second here to pull some of these videos up. This first one here is going to be their current president. The video of them going into martial law. It's going to be full of captions, and unless you speak Korean, you're going to have to read the damn captions. But it's the actual video of him declaring martial law. And like I said, we got a ton of these videos here. So let me get things pulled up here. That way we don't have to do it while we're showing everything. I wish I could speak more Korean so I wouldn't have to translate half this stuff. A lot of this I'm like copying and pasting it into translations because I don't have time to sit here and read it. I can read all the words in Korean, but I just don't know what the words mean. Like I said, we got like 13 videos, so it's just taking a second here. We're basically going to cover the entire martial law as it rained down up until the point where we went live. Almost set here. All right, and this is the last one. So we'll be starting off here. Like I said, we're going to be covering, what is this titled? President Yoon declares martial law in South Korea. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys really quick. If you hooligans have children in your life, I want you to check out a book or these books titled A Dog Named Cappy. A Dog Named Cappy comes in a rhyming book, but you can also get it in a Christmas activity and coloring book for kids that enjoy using crayons and markers and being creative. A Dog Named Cappy rhyming book is available in paperback, or you can get it on Kindle, and the Kindle version is currently 99 cents right now. It's on sale, so definitely get you a copy. If you would like to get A Dog Named Cappy Christmas activity and coloring book, it is available on Amazon. If you hooligans do purchase these books, please make sure to leave reviews on Amazon and then also follow them on their X page as a way to stay up to date with new books coming out and as a way to help them grow. Cappy is a real dog who lives here in Michigan with the illustrator's grandmother, and it would really mean a lot to them if you hooligans would go check out their books. So give me a second here, drop these links in the chat. Let me see. This first one here is for the paperback version. There we go. And this link here is for the Kindle version. Like I just said, it is on sale right now for 99 cents. Holy, get some. I'll check that out in a second. Like I said, only 99 cents for the Kindle version right now because it is on a special. And then this, oops, what did I just do? There we go. This link here is for the Christmas activity and coloring book that I think is good for hooligans of all ages. And then this last link right here is to go follow them on X. All right. So definitely go check out A Dog Named Cappy. So like I said, we're going to get into this here. This first one's titled President Yoon Declares Martial Law in South Korea. Now this video is 2 minutes long. And like I said, you're going to have to read the captions. I think it's probably best to view it like this. Otherwise, we'll have borders covering up the captions. And they ain't going to do you any good unless you can speak Korean. And I kind of doubt it. Either way, get ready to read. This is how they found out that they were going into martial law. Hit that thumbs up button over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
친애하는 국민 여러분, 저는 북한 공산 세력의 위협으로부터 자유 대한민국을 수호하고 우리 국민의 자유와 행복을 약탈하고 있는 파렴치한 종북 반국가 세력들을 일거에 척결하고 자유 헌정 질서를 지키기 위해 비상계엄을 선포합니다. 저는 이 비상계엄을 통해 망국의 나락으로 떨어지고 있는 자유 대한민국을 재건하고 지켜낼 것입니다. 이를 위해 저는 지금까지 폐악질을 일삼은 망국의 원흉 반국가 세력을 반드시 척결하겠습니다. 이는 체제 전복을 노리는 반국가 세력의 준동으로부터 국민의 자유와 안전 그리고 국가 지속 가능성을 보장하며 미래 세대에게 제대로 된 나라를 물려주기 위한 불가피한 조치입니다. 저는 가능한 한 빠른 시간 내에 반국가 세력을 척결하고 국가를 정상화시키겠습니다. 계엄 선포로 인해 자유 대한민국 헌법 가치를 믿고 따라주신 선량한 국민들께 다소의 불편이 있겠습니다마는 이러한 불편을 최소화하는 데 주력할 것입니다. 이와 같은 조치는 자유 대한민국의 영속성을 위해 부득이한 것이며 대한민국이 국제사회에서 책임과 기여를 다한다는 대외 정책 기조에는 아무런 변함이 없습니다. 대통령으로서 국민 여러분께 간곡히 호소드립니다. 저는 오로지 국민 여러분만 믿고 신명을 바쳐 자유 대한민국을 지켜낼 것입니다. 저를 믿어 주십시오. 감사합니다.
Okay, so that is their current president in South Korea right there. And he's trying to say that there's like an opposition and that they're basically like unconstitutional. And it's really crazy because the parallels from how that's all going versus how things are here, it's kind of like how they talk about Trump, saying this opposition is against their country's traditions and things like that. They're against order. They're against structure. They're against their beliefs and how they handle things in South Korea. They're saying that the opposition supporters, they talk about them as if they're terrorists or like anarchists and stuff like that. And it's very much like how they talk about Trump. Oh, Trump's Hitler. He's a threat to democracy. MAGA supporters are terrorists and they're white supreme pizzas and stuff like that. And so what happened is they're saying, oh, this bad opposition and their supporters are out there, and to keep us safe, we're going to declare martial law. And that way those people out there, they don't get a say. The opposition doesn't get a say in this. We're just condemning them as bad people, and you have to believe it because we just put the country in martial law. That's what they're doing right there. Now this next video is titled South Korea's martial, it's helicopters land on South Korean parliament roof after martial law is declared. Now these videos are short, so we're going to be bouncing through them fairly quickly here because it's just it's kind of like a timeline on how things all happen. So really quick here, this is the helicopters landing on parliament right after martial law was declared. All right, so as you can see, military helicopters coming into South Korea. Traffic, as usual, right, just looks like normal life. But all of that stops really quickly, and that was just the beginning of it, is seeing those military helicopters coming in. Right after that, South Korea's Marshal Command forces are currently entering the parliament area. Okay, so something I think is really interesting and kind of a common sight with these special forces or whatever they are is they're soft. You see that he goes up there to push the pedestrian shoves him back, and then he just stands there. If you did that to our guys would put you on your head. You can't just go up there and shove a military member. You'd get fucked. There's no way you could do that. But these guys, they almost behave like either they don't want to do this or they don't have very good leadership. Because every time you see these special forces Korea guys from what's happening today, every one of these videos I see, the pedestrians are almost roughing them up more than they're doing any kind of guidance or kettling or anything like that. These special forces, I don't know, like they're all scrawny and stuff, and they're getting shoved around. They don't seem like real military. I assume they are, but they just seem really soft, and that's compared to our military. But that scene right there is them outside of Parliament, and people are outraged. They're protesting and stuff. They made it illegal to protest, and so the soldiers are there to try to kind of block the front of the building. This video right here is armored vehicles on emergency move. This is when they shut down traffic and brought in military vehicles into South Korea to shut down the roads. So that's pretty self-explanatory there, but there's tons of videos of that, of the vehicles moving around, military vehicles, and all of that. Let me see here. This next video is a little under 2 minutes long, and I believe, yep, you're going to have to read the captions on this one as well. Now, this is the opposition leader here, and this is titled South Korean Opposition Leader Lee Jae-myung reacts to South Korea going into martial law. Now he's going to be he's kind of reacting to the situation, but then he's also got a message for the soldiers that are on the grounds right now. And I think this is a pretty good video if you can keep up with the captions here. But either way, hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and we're going to hear from the opposition leader of South Korea.
윤석열 대통령이 비상계엄을 선포했습니다. 비상계엄을 선포할 아무런 이유가 없습니다. 군대가 이 나라를 통치하게 내버려 둘 수는 없습니다. 검찰에 의한 이 폭력적 지배도 부족해서 총칼을 든 무장 군인들이 이 나라를 지배하려고 합니다. 그리고 국군 장병 여러분, 여러분에게 명령을 내릴 수 있는 것은 오로지 국민뿐입니다. 윤석열 대통령은 국민을 배반했습니다. 윤석열 대통령의 불법적인 비상계엄 선포는 무효입니다. 지금 이 순간부터 윤석열 대통령은 대한민국 대통령이 아닙니다. 장병 여러분, 여러분이 들고 있는 총, 칼, 여러분의 권력은 모두 국민에게서 온 것입니다. 이 나라의 주인은 국민이고 국군 장병 여러분께서 복종해야 될 주인은 윤석열 대통령이 아니라 바로 국민입니다. 국민은 윤석열 대통령의 비상계엄을 허용하지.
So if you could keep up with the captions there, the translation's a little messy, and I think it's because of the way they word things in Korea. But basically what it was saying there is that the current leader turned his back on the people and that he's basically a traitor, and that martial law that he put in state is illegal. And so for the soldiers that are enforcing martial law, their real leaders are the people, because that's who's keeping the country running. That's who runs the country, is we the people, right? But it's in South Korea. And so he's saying that the current leader is basically a traitor, and that people should not abide by this martial law. They should basically just ignore that martial law is intact right now. Now this next video is South Korea Parliament aides seen pushing back martial law forces spraying fire extinguishers. So as we saw a moment ago, the military was outside of Parliament. They were shoving people that were protesting out there. So now they're trying to make their way into Parliament. But the people, while they were doing that, Parliament was in session. So Parliament was full of all their elected officials as they went into martial law. And so as the troops tried to enter Parliament, the people who were basically at the front desk and all of that, they're fighting back against the troops here. So that's what we're going to watch here in just a second. All right, so that's a short video there, but because of the aides at the front desk and all of that fighting back, the troops had to come in through the window. So this is titled Breaking the Glass of the National Embassy and Entering the National Embassy, because they can't go in through the front door. All right. So next up is all of their media being seized. Now this is actually covered by Sky News, but it's titled, and it actually has some commentary here. It's titled, All Media in South Korea, including newspapers, websites, TV channels, and news networks, are now under the control of the government after the president declared martial law. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
We're looking at live pictures of Parliament House, and there seems to be quite a lot of activity, a lot of movement of people up the stairs. I don't know if you can see these pictures as well, John.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, can you describe sort of the makeup of that building and where? I mean, I guess they're going into the chamber, but what's your sort of speculation as to what may be happening at this point?
It's very hard to say. I mean, the National Assembly, of course, is hugely important. And I think wisely, the leader of the opposition, Lee Jae-myung, in calling for the public to assemble there, has been, I think, seeking symbolically to protect what represents, if you like, the heart of democracy in South Korea. There have also been reports that the military has been sent in to try and limit access by the public. I hope what we're seeing is not a panic on the part of the public, but it's impossible to tell from those pictures what may be going on. But there's no doubt that protecting the institutions of government and the National Assembly will have huge symbolic as well as potentially practical importance.
John, are these pictures being broadcast on South Korean media right now? Are people watching this happen?
Not that I can tell at the moment, because I'm obviously talking to you on my computer, and that's the only image I can see at present.
So all media had been captured by the government. Now, shortly after this happened, and it says, breaking, South Korea's parliament votes 190-0 to lift martial law. And this is an image of them voting and whatnot. And after that happened, like immediately after that happened, this video came out that is titled, Soldiers in South Korea have suddenly started leaving the parliament. So you could see the soldiers leaving. You could see people celebrating as if martial law is all over and all of that. And again, you're seeing pedestrians shoving. These are special forces of sorts, shoving them, and no consequences to that. You would not see that here in America. You touch a soldier, you're getting put on your head. That's all there is to it. But these individuals start leaving, and so everyone just starts to assume that it's all over. That's it. They're at the end of the line there. But then these messages come out. It says, breaking, South Korea military said that the martial law will remain in place until President Yoon says otherwise or lifts it. That's when people started realizing it's not over yet. This isn't the end here. This is just what is wanted, but it's not currently in effect. Then this happened. Let me see here what the title of this is. This is, people are currently calling for the South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol to be imprisoned. All right, so although you may not be able to understand it, they are calling for the leader to be imprisoned because obviously nobody wants this martial law to go on. It's been voted out. There wasn't one person who voted for it, and they're still under martial law because their president's a fucking dictator. And so now they're out there protesting. Technically, it's illegal right now, and they could be arrested or worse because they are protesting in the middle of martial law. Now, this is the most recent update that I've come across while we were watching those videos there. It's titled, Breaking, South Korean President Yoon says he's lifting martial law. Now, I don't have enough time or resources right this second to validate that martial law is over in South Korea. Just saying that he is going to lift it doesn't mean that it has been lifted yet. So I don't really know what the current state of South Korea is, but it seems like their president is going to lift martial law. I don't know why he would. Did he not expect this kind of blowback? It's really hard to say. And normally we don't cover foreign news like this, but like I said, Joe Biden could very easily do this to us. He could wake up one day, go on TV and say, we're going to do martial law now. Now, again, we all got guns, and I don't think he's going to do that, and I'm not trying to sell you fear here. I'd rather that you were prepared if something like this was to happen. Today is not the day to go buy ammo. It's not the day to scramble and buy guns. You should already have this shit, just in case something like this happens. You're an American. You have rights. You need to know your rights. You need to exercise your rights. And that right there, that last 20 minutes of whatever we watched, is a really good reason why. Again, I'm not selling you fear, but all it takes is a video and look at how their country was flipped upside down. Now, next up, we got something that's a little bit more on the lighter side of things. It's titled Trump Laying into Trudeau During Their Dinner at Mar-a-Lago. And this is actually kind of a funny video coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about that bullshit that South Korea is going through right now. And we're going to get the beats going. Bam. Man, I lived through martial law in Jefferson Parish, LA. Is that what it is, 10 man? I'm glad you're still here with us, 10 man. Breeze by you. Hopefully they don't try this shit before January 20th. I don't think they will. I just don't think they will. I don't think they want real blowback. You know, Democrats and people on Capitol Hill, they like a war of words. You know, they're very big on phrasing and things like that. They're scared of violence. You see what J6 looked like. That was a tour of Capitol Hill. And they act like they were skinning people alive in the hallways, which obviously didn't happen. If they were to try and go into martial law and prevent the Trump administration from moving forward and all of that and basically say that we're not going to get what we voted for, I think that'd be the hill that Americans are choosing to die on. I think that's what it would be. People would fight back against that, but I just don't think they're going to do it to us. If it was back in 2020 and we were still in lockdowns, I'd be worried about it. But with the way stuff is now, I just don't think they want that blowback. I could be wrong. I just don't think so, though. Sam, so how do we know that North Korea's government hasn't committed psyops on the South? You know, kind of like Iran has on American youth, which now somehow support Hamas and Hezbollah. I mean, it's hard to say, Sam. And at this point, if the government's controlling the media, who knows what you can trust out of South Korea? Man, during martial law, you have to do what you have to do to survive. We don't want this here. Yeah, absolutely, 10 man. Yeah, we don't want the military in the streets, especially if they got blue helmets. If they got blue helmets, we're in some real trouble. Snooks, I wonder what triggered this. This will look good to North Korea. Well, it has something to do with the president. Their president is got a really low approval rating. He's basically the Joe Biden of South Korea. And this new guy, it seems like he's the guy that people want. And their current president, their version of Joe Biden, just went out there and said that the other guy's Hitler and his supporters are terrorists, and they're going to put the country into martial law to stay safe, to keep everyone safe, and to keep the country's traditions alive. That's what they just tried to do. And that's why people are saying it's a coup, because he's trying to stop the natural order of things by using martial law to prevent people from getting what they actually want. Breeze by you, and who knows the truth about any of this? Well, none of that is from the news. All of that is people recording it. And there's lots of different point of views of each of those events that I put up there. I just grabbed one of each event, but there's more than 5 different point of views of each one of those scenes I just showed. Guess could be a Black Friday sale. Could be. It could be. 10-man NWO doesn't like being disturbed or stopped. I agree, and that's what it looks like. Zero, it looks like an insurrection. It does look like an insurrection. And that's kind of what people are saying it is in a certain degree, that he's using the military and he's using martial law to stop whatever they're in the middle of. I don't think they're in the middle of an election, but maybe they are. Snooks, I'm very surprised at this in South Korea. Well, in the 80s, South Korea was also in martial law. And that's what I don't think I showed that video. This is the first time since the 80s that they've been in martial law. So it really hasn't even been that long since they've experienced martial law. But here they are again, going through it. Happy freedom, breeze by you. Oh, Snooks in Louisiana. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see now. I was going to say, I was like, why was 10 Man in Los Angeles? Sage Pup, we used to riot harder over school food in junior high than J6. I've seen mosh pits more violent. Yeah, Sage Pup. I've seen toddlers throw bigger temper tantrums in the toy aisle than what was going on in J6. Those people on Capitol Hill, they're soft. '69 Drummer, are there any feeds from the border at the DMZ? Curious if there's activity there. I haven't looked for any live feeds, 69 Drummer, but that would be interesting if it was happening at the DMZ zone. I'm sure there's probably an uptick in military in that area, but I don't know that there's citizens near the DMZ. I don't know why there would be, but I wonder if there is a live feed of the DMZ over there. SOS, I wonder if North Korea is sending 10,000 troops to the Ukraine got things shook up. I'm not sure that North Korea has anything to do with what's happening in South Korea, but I know that them sending those troops to fight for Russia against the Ukrainians got a lot of people pissed off at North Korea. Puff of Stuff, April 10th was the South Korean presidential election. Interesting. What's up, Alexander? Happy freedom. Alexander, I've heard that people want to align with the North. BS? Question mark. I can't see that. I mean, maybe that's happening, but I don't know why they would. Why they would want to align with the. I mean, I could see them wanting peace, right? I could see it like that, but there's nothing good happening in North Korea, and South Koreans know it. South Koreans love America. North Korea, they blame America for all their problems, even though it's Kim Jong-un's fault that they live the way they do. So I really don't know much about that, but it's hard for me to believe that South Korea would want to be like North Korea. Normal times, not a cat within a mile of that place. I don't have anything to say to that. It tastes good. That's all I know. A little Klaus fried rice goes a long way. Mm-hmm. Pumpkin, the Dems are still trying to figure out why they lost the election. Yeah. Trying to think who it was. It might have been Laura Loomer. She was saying that what's happening in South Korea might be their 1776 moment. I think it was Laura Loomer that was saying that. Or maybe it was Nancy Mace. I can't remember. I saw it earlier. Alistair, can someone tell me what Trump's campaign is still raising, or why Trump's campaign is still raising money? What are those donations for? I thought the campaign was for re-election. What am I missing? I don't know, Alistair. I didn't know he was still raising money. I'm not sure, because usually it is for the campaign, and the campaign's over. I don't know, Alistair. You know what else I saw that I thought was really weird? Is Dr. Disrespect came to Rumble. And I was telling you guys about Doc. He's a gaming live streamer. I know some of you know who he is. He's like the biggest gaming live streamer over on YouTube. But a couple of years ago, he was banned from Twitch for talking to a minor in their message system on Twitch, which is called Twitch Whispers or whatever. So he was whispering with a 17-year-old or some shit. He got banned from Twitch. Nobody really knew for sure. They speculated on it for years, and recently, within the last year, some people that work for Twitch were interviewed, and they admitted that Doc was in fact banned from Twitch because he was talking to a minor. And he sort of admitted to it on a bunch of posts that that was true. Doc admitted to it on social media. Then he went on like a 10-day hiatus and then came back, took down those posts, and claimed that he was gaslighting people or whatever, that it was a fake admission. He wasn't truly admitting to talking to a minor, and that he was just admitting to it to get headlines, and that he would be suing anybody that carried those headlines for defamation of character. Since that happened, he was demonetized on YouTube, and he's been trying to get remonetized, and it's not working. YouTube won't monetize him because of all that mess that finally came out. And so he keeps trying, they keep denying him. Well, Rumble handed him a deal, and he came over to Rumble, and I think he's got a contract, kind of like Crowder, where he's getting paid to come to the platform and all of that. Now, they're boosting him all over social media. They're talking about how great Doc is and all of that, and they're ignoring the fact that he was talking to a minor that also screwed up his marriage for a while and stuff, and I think they got back on track with things, but they're ignoring that happened. They're trying to downplay all that blowback. On top of that, he was live yesterday. Doc was live on YouTube, and he was live on Rumble. So on YouTube, Doc has like 5 million followers. And on average, he has 20,000 people in the chat. Sometimes it's like 25,000 people in the chat, right? He's on Rumble. He only has 45,000 followers, which is significantly less than 5 million, right? 45,000 compared to 5 million. Now on YouTube, he averages about 25,000 viewers every day. On Rumble, he's getting 40,000 viewers. How do you have 45,000 people follow you, but 40,000 people in the chat on Rumble, and you got 5 million people that follow you on YouTube, but only 25,000 people in the chat? I think Rumble is lying about his numbers, and I hate to say that because I like Rumble, but I think they're lying about his numbers. I think they're boosting his numbers on his live. I wonder if he's live right now, but it just simply does not make sense that he would have a fraction of followers here on Rumble, but have twice as many viewers. Literally doesn't even make sense. And that's just when you look at that. That's not if you hold both platforms side by side and go, wow, there's so many millions of people on YouTube, there's only a few million people over on Rumble, and then double his viewership on the platform that has much less of a standing audience. Literally doesn't make any sense. I think they're lying for Dr. Disrespect on his numbers and stuff to try and make him look good on Rumble, because YouTube currently isn't giving him a deal because he was talking to a minor, and everyone just forgot about it. They just, oop, yesterday's news. Anyways, reading through. We got President Trump coming up next, and it's pretty funny the way he was talking to Trudeau. Man, martial law was declared in southeast Louisiana after Katrina until law and order could be reestablished. Yeah, 10 man, that's when they were disarming all the law-abiding citizens. Yep. Guess he's got 4 million viewers on Grindr. Nah, I figured you'd know, guess I figured you'd be able to fill in the blank there. What's up, Salty Ragu? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Jay Tyler? Happy freedom. We're the outlaw nation. I don't know. we're hardcore truthers over here. Bobby, he's rich as fuck. Oh yeah. All those big live streamers are rich. I mean, I honestly, seeing the numbers of Salty Cracker pulls, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Salty was a millionaire. Like, not at all. Not at all. These big live streamers, they make a lot of money. Like Crowder, I bet Crowder's a millionaire. Easily. These big live streamers, they do big numbers. They get donations, but then they also get contracts from the platform. What's up, Showman? Happy freedom to you. Zupia, he was thoroughly looked into about the situation with the messaging. He wouldn't be free if he actually did something wrong. Yeah, Zupia, I mean, he would have to send messages or he would have to send pictures or something. I don't think it's illegal to talk to a minor. It just is frowned upon. And so he didn't do anything that was breaking the law, but I mean, could you imagine being 40 years old and talking to a 17-year-old? I couldn't even imagine what that is like. Would he even talk to a 17-year-old about? How was school? Did your mom ground you today? Like, did you eat dinner? Is it almost your bedtime? Like, what do you say to a 17-year-old? You know, they're a child, basically. But either way, I don't really know what to think about the situation. I used to be a fan of Doc. That shit happened. I was like, don't like that. Then the stuff with Nick Merckx happened. Nick Merckx said, pedophiles need to leave kids alone. Call of Duty said, well, that goes against the LGBTXYZ community. And then they pulled down Nick Merckx's stuff off of Call of Duty, claiming that saying leave the kids alone is hate speech to the gay community. And after that happened, Doc and everybody else started boycotting Call of Duty. And then they turned around and went back to the game. I stopped playing Call of Duty because of that. I still don't play Call of Duty because of that, because they sympathize with pedophiles. Now, Nick Merckx said the same thing. He's not playing the game anymore. He's back playing the game. Doc said the same thing. Oh, they went after Nick Merckx and they sympathize with pedophiles. We're not playing the game anymore. Well, Doc is accused of being a pedophile. Now he's also playing Call of Duty again. I don't know. I don't like these fucking people. And that's why I don't have a real opinion about it. And that's also why I stopped following Doc, because that's a bunch of messy bullshit. I believe in what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and that's it. That's all I believe. I don't believe anything else. So if they're over there playing video games made by pedophile sympathizers, I'm not fucking with them. Muskie Boss. Unfortunately, I have to talk to my daughter all the time. Yeah, Muskie Boss, but that's different. That's different. Sage Pup, I wish I was a rich podcaster, but no, I have to get a job. Well, I'm not rich, so I don't want you guys thinking that. I'm not even kind of close to rich. I don't even hardly make it. Like, I have to go days without eating just to be able to pay so we can continue to do this every day. One day. You guys will know when I'm rich, because we'll have a compound and we'll be doing hooligan potlucks and we'll be doing charities and stuff like that. We'll make the world a better place. Josh D, bathroom live stream. No. Creekwater, I am glad I have no clue who you're talking about. Blessed. Yeah, Creekwater. You don't have to even worry about it. These people, they're not that important, but they're big news in pop culture. Too old to care. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Absolutely too old to care. Barb, that's why I like you, Jeff. What's right is right. That's right, Barb. I appreciate you. What's up, Cerebrus? Happy freedom to you. Cerebrus, he did lift martial law 30 minutes ago. Well, that's good for the people down in South Korea. Shit, but what if he does it again? You know, what if he's eating dinner and he don't like the way dinner's going, and so he's like, we're going back to martial law. Are they going to have to vote again and do all that? The soldiers come back. They're like, hey, guys. Like, I don't know. They can't trust that guy. What's up, Mav? Happy freedom to you. Stern, I'm moving next door to you. All right, Stern. You're moving to Minnesota? Why are you moving to Minnesota? That's where the riots were happening. You be careful. You be careful out there. What's up, Paul? Happy freedom. Paul, I'm in Scotland growing food for the community, doing my part. That's badass, Paul. Heck yeah. Hooligans Island and a bunker. We're going to have enough bunkers for all the hooligans. It's going to be awesome. Yep, out on Hooligans Island. It's like Gilligan's Island, but better. What's up, Big Daddy? Happy freedom to you. Big Daddy, that's why I love you. No bullshit, guys. Yeah, that's right, Big Daddy. We like to try to stick to the facts. We like to have fun when we can, but you know, you can't let these people slide. I was just talking about that the other day, about how special treatment is corruption. Like, if you look at politicians, right, even like the person who works at your local courthouse. They get pulled over. Cop sees who they are. Oh, you're an important person. We're going to let you go. We're going to let you slide. Why? Because he's important? Yeah. Well, then why does he get paid so much? Oh, yeah. That's his compensation for being an important person. Looking the other way when he breaks the law is corruption. That's what that is. And that's how I feel about all this goofy shit going on. Like we're talking about Doc and all that. He's a pedophile on YouTube, but Rumble's welcoming him with open arms. It's like, I don't really like that. But either way, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. You know, I'm sticking to it. Anyways, moving forward here, getting away from pedophile talk and gamers and all of that. This next video up here is the last little bit of the news, but it's a good one. We're turning the vibes around. This is titled Trump Laying Into Trudeau During Their Dinner at Mar-a-Lago. And the information will be delivered to us by none other than Peter Ducey. So this is a pretty good video, and that's why I saved it for last. This is a little jokey joke and stuff like that. Kind of easing into our funny videos of the day. Hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Brett.
We'll have more on that detail with the panel. Peter, thank you.
I love President Trump. He's so funny. Just telling Trudeau how it is. You guys, you can't get by without scamming us, then maybe you should just be the 51st state and you could be governor. You can keep all the illegals you want. We'll be here when you're ready to get rid of them. I don't know what Canadians think about that. Don't be mad at me. I didn't say the shit. But it's funny, though. It's funny, though. But really, Canada would be the 52nd state because we've already purchased Ukraine. Ukraine belongs to us. We gave them all of our damn money, so much money that we can't help the people in North Carolina. Can't help anybody that's been hit by Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Milton. We ain't got money for it. Been giving all that money to Ukraine and border crossers and shit. So I think Ukraine's the 51st state. Canada can be the 52nd state. I've always considered Canada northern Michigan anyways, so it's all good. Either way, that is all the news I had for you hooligans today. We got a funny video coming up next, and then we have an official feel-good/funny video to wrap up the day. Now, we're going to read through the chat really quick, see what you hooligans think about the way President Trump was talking to Trudeau, and then we're going to get into our fun stuff of the day. Sage Pup, the Canadians would poop themselves. I think a part of them would be okay with it. I think a part of them would be like, yes, we get to bear arms now. Fuck yeah. Like, I think they would be about it, but there's Canadians out there that are very proud to be Canadians, just as Americans are. That's the funny thing about Canada, is they kind of say the same things that we're taught as Americans, right? So in Canada, they're taught they're the greatest country in the world. In America, we're taught we're the greatest country in the world, right? So they have a lot of patriotism just like we do. But what makes me feel that a lot of them would be okay with the adjustment is everywhere there's a Canadian flag, I guess it's also partnered with an American flag. And when I was dating that Canadian and she came over here, she realized we don't have Canadian flags over here. And she would ask me about it all the time. She would say, well, there's an American flag. Where's the Canadian flag? And I'm like, why the fuck would we have a Canadian flag? And she's like, well, everywhere where there's a Canadian flag, it's usually partnered up with an American flag. That's nice. That's nice. I like to hear that. And she used to hate that shit. And so Canadians are very patriotic for their country, and I think some of them would be a little upset to hear that they're the 52nd state. But then, like I said, I think there's a few of them out there that are like, fuck it. Where's my guns at? Bring me the guns. I'm ready for my new rights. And so I think they'd be gun-ho for it. What's up, Klaus Daniels? You can come in and say hi and tell everyone happy freedom. You a good boy. No. You can't interfere with the live. Klaus on the controls. Yes. Big buffalo cat. Wait, you sniffing the mic? Are you giving him the purrs? You getting the motor going? Yes. Anyways, reading through the chat. And like I said, we got fun stuff coming up next. Saldaregu, Canada sucks. They arrest you for yelling for help in the streets. Oh, they do that in Michigan too. I guess in Canada it's illegal to preach. If you are trying to push religion on people in Canada, you can be arrested and charged with a 10-year hate crime for preaching to people, like preaching the gospel to people and stuff. It's a big deal. When I was a chaplain, there was a bunch of other chaplains that were trying to figure out how to save the people of Canada because God isn't there. They don't allow God to be there. Now, that's a harsh way to word things and perceive what's happening in Canada. I'm sure there's lots of God-loving Canadians and whatnot, but it's a hate crime. It's a 10-year hate crime to try and push Jesus onto Canadians who don't want it. And so that's kind of an interesting thing that happens over there. What a weird thing to go to prison for. South Ragu, you're really gonna buy this? It's styling. Could you guys imagine, or hair juicer? I mean, could you imagine hair juicer cruising around in this? It'd be styling, man. With the Huskies hanging out the window, they'd love that. Cassie J, we need to fight for equal pay for both genders on only Hooligans. Yeah, Cassie J, is that what we gotta do? These feet pics deserve equal rights. Equal rights, equal pay. There's a gender gap when it comes to selling feet pics. I didn't realize, but it makes sense. Soldrigu dibs on top bunk in the bunkers. You called it. You called it. We're going to write it on the wall so we don't forget. Snooks, I'd like to request a shower live stream from you. I don't even know where we could live stream it. Well, we could on the website. We're not doing all that, though. Tool to Care Canada has party money. Mm-hmm. '69 drummer Cassie J, the documentary maker. She's gorgeous. I don't know who you're talking about. '69 drummer. I don't think we're talking about the same Cassie J. What a coincidence, though. What's up, Trop? Happy freedom to you. Trudeau is WEF, a uni puppet. Let's see, not one working brain cell in that flamboyant individual. yeah, Trop. He struts around like a little sissy. We covered Trudeau giving a speech during the Canadian convoy. He had caught the plague, and he walked out front. They put a little podium out front of his house, and he came and gave us a little speech. And it's interesting because he gives the speech in English, and then he turns around and gives it in French. Old man Walter barely could put sentences together, let alone speak another language. I thought that was really humorous. Normal times, Trudeau is Gavin Newsom's long-lost sister. Yeah, there are a bunch of flamboyant fucks out there. That's for sure. Creekwater, Canada really has its pluses and minuses. Yeah, so do we, I suppose. Normal times, Trudeau wanted on the Trump train. I think he's over there kissing ass just like Zuckerberg was. Zuckerberg went to Mar-a-Lago as well. He keeps trying to pretend like he wants to get on board with free speech, but there's a lot of people that are still posting screenshots of being censored over on Facebook. I don't hang out on Facebook. I don't hang out on any of those platforms. Mostly I'm on Truth and X. Well, mostly I'm on jeffmaclive.com, but if I leave my own damn platform, then I'm usually on X or Truth. Pumpkin, we could split Canada in half and make one half conservative and the other half liberal. That was Trump's idea. Yeah, but then the conservatives would be trying to shove the liberal part into the ocean. They're trying to get it up out of here. They're like, why does the liberal side smell like shit and on fire all the time? Could you imagine that? You just getting the winds carrying over from the liberal side? I don't know. That'd be terrible. What's up, Elisa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom to you. Showman, Zuckerberg and his wife is going to jail over 2020. I'd like to see some real accountability. Alistair, I like Kevin Bacon. Is he a Canadian? Is he the Canadian bacon that we was talking about? Hey, thank you for being here, Breeze by You. Sam, liberals smell like B.O. and patchouli. Yeah, I know. I've been to music festivals. On the outskirts, it's kind of like a homeless encampment, but you know. What's up, Darth Blaze? Happy freedom. Hunter Biden is fucking weird. Lock him up. Yeah, Darth Blaze. Both Bidens, they both should be locked up right now. What's up, Interstate? Happy freedom. We're going to get on to the fun stuff here in a second. Hooligans Island, I wonder if the Orange Eagle went to the YMCA as a kid. I don't really know. His kid goes to, private school. Like Barron, he's been in private school his whole life as far as I know. I don't know if he's even stepped foot in a YMCA. So I wondered the kind of path that President Trump was on. Does he participate in public stuff, or is he kind of like Barron? He's just been in private stuff his whole life. I don't really know anything about young Donald Trump. Hooligans Island, like fake Santa smelling like beef and cheese? Nah, I don't want those problems. No. So Spirit Matter, happy freedom to you. Wayward, Trudeau is a sharp lizard. He is. He's definitely one of those lizard people. You could tell. Hey, thank you for being here. Get some. Be safe out there. Snooks Barron is a genius. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So we're going to get into our fun stuff of the day. This first one's titled Trump's First Day Back in Office. This is our funny video of the day. But before we get into it, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to make donations. You could do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. We're going to get into this funny video of the day. Let me get it pulled up here. Once again, this is titled Trump's First Day Back in Office.
Oh my God. He's shit everywhere.
There's shit everywhere! Damn it! My house is full of shit! He's shit everywhere! There's shit on the windows!
That's terrible. God, there's going to be like shit snowmen in the bathroom and stuff. It's no good. It's no good. So this next video here is kind of a feel-good / funny video of the day. Let me get this pulled up really quick here. Let me see. We're going to play this one in full screen. This is titled When You Raise Your Pets Right.
I don't believe me. Go eat it. Matter of fact, because y'all don't believe me. Look. Go. Go. Eat it. Eat it. Like you need to pray, right? You need to pray. You need to pray, right? I'm trying to tell them that. But you gotta let them know. Look, I'm gonna try one more time. Go eat it. Amen. Amen. Go. Crazy. Look, I can push him. No. Come on. Come on. Okay, all right, hold on. Have some patience, okay? We're gonna pray. Dude. Thank you. God is good. God is great. Let us thank him for our food. By his hands we all are fed. Thank you, Lord, for daily bread. Amen.
Yes. When you raise your dogs right. Mm-hmm. Now, Class Daniels, I don't know if he be praying before he eats or not. He's a little pain in my ass. Aren't you, buddy? Yes, that's right. Either way, that is all the coffee I had for you hooligans today. Drop this Linktree link in the description. In the chats for you guys. We're going to read through, see what you hooligans think about today's coffee. We're going to be doing the Pledge of Allegiance and then wrapping things up. But we'll be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Now, I did look for a press briefing today, but KJP did not decide to come to work. I think they're trying to get a little space between Hunter Biden being pardoned and the next press briefing, because otherwise all the questions will be, why is Joe Biden such a liar? And you know how KJP is. She don't like answering questions and whatnot. She likes to get all mad and storm out of the press room. So keeping my eyes open for a press briefing, and we're going to cover it because I want to see her being attacked by reporters when it comes to questions about Joe Biden being a liar. So I am keeping my eyes out for it. Either way, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there, keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there in the chat while watching the live. Our live player is currently ad-free, so it is an ad-free experience. Like I said, it is the best way to experience the live. You'll also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our built-in social media area. It's kind of like Facebook or X, but there's no crying liberals, there's no fact checkers, no stupid community guidelines or anything like that. It's just the way that social media is supposed to be. You'll also have access to the forums, which is to encourage open discussion. You'll have access to the arcade that is full of games that adapt to your phone, and it is a lot of fun. And you'll also have access to the advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats that give you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. jeffmaclive.com is the home of the hooligans and the place to be, so definitely go get yourself a membership. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and then we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll be wrapping things up. Reading through. Sage Pup, oh tacos. Yes, it's Taco Tuesday. Thank you, Zero. I appreciate you. Zero, KJP is scared. She is. She is. Hey, thank you for being here, Sam. Be safe out there. Cassie J is so adorable. He's a good dog. Turbo, that's a good boy. He is a good boy. Zero, so sweet. I love that. Yes. Sage Pup, does anyone remember the interview with the guy or the computer guy with Hunter's laptop? And all he said was, Hunter is a sick person. Yeah, I think we covered that guy because the government was going after him. Trying to say that, I don't know, he had done something illegal with how he worked on Hunter's laptop or something. It's funny how that story kind of disappeared. And people forgot. Hair Juicer voice chat has been hysterical lately. I agree. Thank you, MU. Appreciate you being here. $69 drummer. Imagine a Q-tip swab from the White House shower drain. What would grow in a petri dish? I don't want to know, 69 drummer. You can get 42 individuals, different DNA and all that. I don't know. None of that sounds good. Too old to care. I think all Bidens flee the country and go abroad. They might. They got enough money to do it. I know that. What's up, Paul? Happy freedom to you. Jeb. Yep, I can picture Biden laying on the bathroom floor making poop angels. Yeah, it's probably hard to get him out of the bathroom, you know. He's always enjoying himself. Puffin Stuff, Secret Service opened fire on a carjacking in front of Janet Yellen's house this morning. Interesting. I don't know who that is, Puffin Stuff, but thank you for letting me know. Crazy. Hey, thank you for being here, Viola. You stay warm as well. I don't think winter's going anywhere anytime soon. Kung Fu, where are the aliens? I'm here for the takeover. I keep seeing people say that. Is there something that happened with the whole alien UFO community? Hooligans Island, more swatting? Is that what? No, they wouldn't have started shooting people. What's up, Daniel? Happy freedom. Is it Daniel or is it Danielle? I'm going with Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Mm-hmm. Wayward. I wish I had some hooligans in the chat. Yeah, I don't know. The X live experience is not great. Elon needs to do something about that. Spice it up a bit or something. Wayward, is that computer guy alive? Nah, who knows at this point? At this point, it's hard to say. Oh, that's Janet Yellen? Oh, thanks for letting me know, 10 Man. I wonder why Secret Service was shooting out, well, I guess a carjacking, right? Was it her getting carjacked? Or was it just the neighbor? I don't know. Now I got to go investigate. Cassie J, it's Hair Juicer's elaborate and colorful stories. Yes, that is true. All right, hooligans, it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, did the thing. Let's get these beats rolling. We're going to read through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, we will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Thank you, 69 Drummer. Much love to you as well. Thank you, Too Old to Care. Trop, aliens. We're to be here December 3rd. Dog fights with jets, all that BS. Oh, I haven't heard anything about that. I keep seeing people say something about January 3rd or something. Some prediction or something. WMM was telling me about it too. What's up, Mr. Satan? Happy freedom. Thank you, Rappy. Appreciate you being here. You be safe out there as well. Thank you, Pumpkin. Much love to you. I know, Josh 1776. Come on, guys. Hit that like button. We should be able to hit 100 likes every day. Easy. Thank you, Tony Rich. Thank you, Mayor Todd. Thank you, Paul. Wayward, 312 watching here. Cool stuff. I don't know what to think about that, Wayward. I don't know why the numbers are so high on the X Live, but then there's no one in the chat. Like I said earlier, I think it's a glitch or something, because that's a lot of people for it being on X. Thank you, Zero. All right, Hooligans, I think we're good to go. But like I said, I'm going to try and keep my eyes out for the next press briefing. Maybe we'll have one tomorrow. I assume there'll be lying as always, but it's the crying that I'm interested in. Because they're going to be asking about Joe Biden pardoning Hunter Biden after spending years saying he wasn't going to do that. So I am looking for that, as well as any other spicy stuff going on. So definitely see you guys tomorrow right here. Be safe out there. Stay warm, because like I just said, winter's not going anywhere. Trying to think. I think that's everything. I believe so. Either way, I appreciate all of you guys being here. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you Hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.
Jeff